Hey guys, and welcome back to another weekly meal prep video. My name is Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. If you are new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Let's go ahead and get into this meal prep video. Alright, so the first thing I do, especially when I'm doing meal prep, is I get my oven stuff out of the way because I know that usually takes the longest. So I preheated my oven to 375 and I'm just putting out some bacon that I wanted to have cooked up for the week. I have a couple recipes that I need it in, so I'm just going to go ahead and get that on my sheet pan here. And then I'm also going to be making a sheet pan meal for our lunches this week. It's just going to be Josh's lunch and snacks because I have a lot going on at work. So we will probably have lunch catered most of the week. So I just made him some stuff so that he could have something to eat for lunch. So I am just going to season this up with my favorite seasonings, the onion salt from Trader Joe's, as well as the 21 seasoning salute. I'm going to mix that up and spread it out on a sheet pan and get it into that 375-degree oven with that bacon. And I'll show you guys what they look like when we get them out of the oven. Alright, so while that's in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and make some fresh pesto. This is absolutely delicious, guys. You guys are going to love it. This time I'm using some fresh Parmesan cheese. I got some in my grocery haul this week that I showed you guys. And I just cut that into smaller pieces to go ahead and grind up in the food processor. You can definitely use the Kraft shaky Parmesan cheese. That's just as good. I am not above that. I've made pesto with it before and I think it tastes great. So I'm going to go ahead and grind up this cheese, like I said, until it's the consistency of grated Parmesan cheese, and then I'll add everything else in. So for my pesto, usually the recipe will call for pine nuts. Pine nuts are outrageously expensive, so I just use walnuts. And then it'll call for 2 cloves of garlic, but you guys know me, I absolutely love garlic and I can't get enough, so I doubled that. And then it's going to call for 2 cups of basil, fresh basil, lightly packed. I don't like to pack it too much because I don't want to bruise it. And then a teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of that in the blender, and in the food processor, and while it's processing, I'm going to go ahead and stream in some olive oil, and I'll show you guys how I do that. So the reasoning behind this was I was looking, my sister has this garden and she has so much fresh basil, and I was looking at it when I was at her house the other day, and I'm like, I'm gonna make something with pesto because look how much, there's so much. So she has a great green thumb and I have a black one, so I'm just gonna take off of her basil. And yeah, so that's where I got this from, was my sister's backyard, which I love. Alright guys, and just like that, we have made our own pesto. I'm super excited for you guys to try this. This is so delicious. I've bought store-bought pesto so many times, and it is really good, but there's just, when you get the fresh pesto, it's just amazing. It's so good. I really encourage you guys to try this. If you can find the time and the basil, definitely give it a shot because it's so good. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to be doing is prepping this celery a couple different ways. Just so you know, so no one yells at me, I put that in a bag to make chicken stock. I'm going to try to do that in a video coming up, a meal prep video. Anyway, so for the first thing I'm going to be using this for is going to be snack cups. You guys know I love my snack cups. So I'm going to be making a ants on a log snack cup for Josh. You guys will see it now, but I also am going to be chopping up some celery to put into my chicken gnocchi soup that I'm going to be making later on this week. So just to skip a step there for me. So basically, ants on a log is peanut butter and raisins. So you put the peanut butter in the inside of the celery and you put the raisins on top, and those are the little ants on the log. I don't know if I'm the only one. I'm sure other people have had this before. We used to have it in aftercare all the time when I was a kid. But it's like one of my favorite snacks ever. I love it. So I decided to make it into a snack cup. And yes, I'm a Peter Pan kind of gal. I love Disney so much that it even affects my peanut butter, but I'll show you guys how I make it. Alright guys, I just pulled these out of the oven and they look absolutely perfect. 375 for 30 minutes did just the trick for both, and my house smells amazing because of the bacon. So what I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to put the bacon on wax paper and store it in a Ziploc bag in the fridge, and I'll use it as I need it. And then for the sheet pan meal, I'm going to go ahead and divide it into 3 separate lunches for Josh and make some couscous to go alongside. I don't know what happened to the footage of that, but it literally takes like 5 minutes. You just boil water and you drop the couscous in. So that was what I did. Alright guys, so this is everything we made. I'm going to go ahead and flip. There's like a piece of wax paper underneath that bacon that I'm going to flip over before I put it in the Ziploc bag. I have Josh's 3 lunches, and I have his 3 snacks with the ants on a log, and I have our crown jewel today is that pesto. It is amazing. If you try anything today, definitely try that pesto. It's so good. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me and meal prepping. I am very excited for the meals I have for the week, and that pesto is everything, as if I haven't said it 10 times. I hope you guys have a blessed and awesome and productive week. Bye.